Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the North Norfolk Coast. I'm finally doing my second part of my New Year's resolution, and that is exploring the North Norfolk Coast. So I'm going to try and get some wildlife photography done today. We're down at Wells next to the sea. I've managed to drag Mrs. S to the coast, not that it takes much convincing. She loves the beach. So currently just making our way past the sand dunes, as you can see behind us, and I do know somewhere behind there's an area that's sectioned off that's a small habitat for birds. So I'm going to go check that out in a minute. Now we're going to keep walking along the beach for the moment. Let's go see what we can see. Okay, so we've come to the sectioned off areas then. Mrs. S has just gone on a little bimble to keep warm. Now, Holcombe Estate, the people who actually own the area of beach for Wells next to the sea, have actually sectioned these two areas of scrub off. So this one's sectioned off. This one's not, but as you can see just from next to me, there's almost like a little moat around it. So you can't actually go on there anyway, which is brilliant. Now, there are signs up saying this area is sectioned off for wildlife, so credit to Holcombe Estate for doing that. And it's for shore larks and snow bunting. Now you might be able to hear through my mic, there's one that's just landed really close. I'm just gonna kind of creep round a little bit. Now you can probably hear the noise coming through my mic. Now Mrs. S stayed with me for a bit and we did get some shots. She was acting as a spotter for me, which is brilliant. Tell you what, she is so good at that. And yes, I'm hoping that it was the shore larks we managed to get pictures of. The problem is the scrub is so brown, and the birds were as well, that it made it difficult to track them. So yeah, so Mrs. S has gone wandering now. I'm just loitering around this bit and she'll catch back up with me in a minute. So yeah, I'll stick the first round of pictures up and I'm going to see if I can actually get a picture of this bird. So stick with us, let's see what we can see. Okay, considering there was loads of people here a second ago, they've all seemed to have disappeared. Now that wind is picking up as well. So I apologise if the camera's sort of wobbly all over the place. I'll just support it for a minute. Unless any more of those Skylarks appear. Shore larks, sorry, not Skylarks. Yeah, fantastic. So that last one then, just before I finished filming that section, I haven't put those pictures up yet. That was absolutely brilliant. I got a really beautiful clear shot of it as it landed near me. Oh man, the place is just alive with these little small birds. However, unfortunately, they keep going into the scrubby area, because I'm guessing that's where the food's probably located. And yeah, it's making it really difficult for the camera to decipher what it's trying to focus on, whether it's the small stubby scrub or if it's the bird that's a very similar colour to it. But fortunately, that last shot I got on the back of the camera, so fingers crossed that when I get it on the computer it looks as good. It's come out as good as it looks. Now, so far then, Wells next to the sea for wildlife photography. So the fact that Holcombe Estate has actually sectioned this area off for the protection of the shore larks and the snow buntings, and probably any other small birds as well that decide to call it their home. It's just gone really deathly silent. Ooh, that's kind of eerie. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic, and it's an area where I can imagine when the vegetation's potentially growing a bit more, or when the weather's a bit warmer, that it would be really, really good to come down and just have a whole session stood here. As I say, that wind is freezing. I took my gloves off because I was getting too warm, and now my hands are like ice. I apologise if you can hear the wind whipping down the mic. It is behind me at the moment, so hopefully it will stay that way. Yeah, we don't have too long down here. We actually left home a little bit later than I would have ideally liked, so we're only down here for about an hour and a half, and this is right down the beach. The tide is out at the moment, so we're not going to get any potential things like sandlings or anything like that in the water's edge. Now, one thing I will say is Mrs. S and I absolutely love Wells Next to the Sea, which is why she wanted to come today as well. And we have been down here, and how do I describe Wells? So you've got the beach, and then it's quite a distance to the town, which is right back on in the land, because it's an old port area, and there's a lot of sort of water that runs in from the sea into the sort of port harbour area. Anyway, where some of those run-ins come in, we have spotted seals and stuff before, so there is also that aspect for it as well. So Wells does have a really good potential for a whole day of wildlife photography, especially if you time it right with the tides. When it's out, you might get the seals in those, I want to call them estuaries, I don't know what the right word is. You might get different birds closer to the shore when the tide is further in. As I say, it was literally, mind you, it was an hour and a half ago since high tide, since low tide, and the tide is quite far out here. But if the tide is further in anyway, you might get some more birds and stuff around there. So Wells definitely has, Wells Next to the Sea, I must remember to call it its right name, definitely has the potential. However, there is one other awesome thing about it, and you might be able to see from behind me there is also a woods that separates the car park and the actual beach. And there's a, so basically you walk over a mound. If you've never been to Wells before, it's quite difficult to explain, but you park up, you go over this mound, there's the trees on the car park side of it, and then you come onto the beach. So there is the potential to have some wildlife and stuff in those trees as well. We may walk back through those trees, I don't know yet, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm going to crack on because this section is becoming rather long of me rambling. I'll stick up that second shot of the shorelark. I think it's a shorelark. And yeah, we'll see if we can find any more wildlife down here today. Whoa. So Mrs. S caught back up with me now, and I haven't done any recording since because that wind was coming right into our faces, and we didn't see much else, to be fair, as well. So we're now into the trees, as you might be able to see behind us, and it is absolutely beautiful, I'm not going to lie. You could probably get some really good woodland shots here, especially with the way the light is breaking through the cloud, through the trees, sorry, not the clouds. So yeah, now you might not be able to hear through the mic as well. There is the sounds of bird songs, and it would be a really good place to spend a few hours and just walk around the woodland, to be honest with you. So yeah, we don't have long though. We're heading back to the car because we've got about an hour and a half drive back, and we've got to go feed Layla. So yeah, I'm going to actually sign out now, and obviously if I see any more pictures, or I take any more pictures I should say, I'll stick them up at the end. So quick little episode then of my exploring North Norfolk for wildlife photography. Now obviously if you like the video, give us the old thumbs up, drop some subscribes if you don't already from down the bottom, because there will be more of these episodes to come across the rest of this year. And yeah, all that's left for me to say then is this is Mike out. Take care and be safe, everyone. Peace.